All right, great. The current property tax rate is 3.970 per 1,000 of assessed value. This year's proposed rate is the same, 3.970 per 1,000 of assessed value. There's no increase to the tax rate, but a 1.6% projected increase in revenue. The city's current adopted budget assumes a 2% increase in total property tax revenue. The proposed tax rate provides approximately $104,000 in additional revenue over the amount generated using the compensating tax rate of 3.900 per 1,000. Provided that a property's assessment remained unchanged from last year, a homeowner will pay the same amount in city property tax this year. Since the enactment of House Bill 44, the city has traditionally adjusted the tax rate to allow for a 4% increase in revenue. Since 2021 has continued much as 2020 did, the decision was again made to adopt the same tax rate that was originally adopted in 2019. This year, the city did not take the additional step of budgeting for this eventuality, meaning that we will not see the same budget shortfall as last year. So the 2020 anticipated tax revenue at $3.97 per thousand was $5,829,303. The 2021 anticipated tax revenue at $3.97 compensating rate would be $5,821,462. The 2021 anticipated tax revenue at $3.97 per thousand, which is the compensating rate plus the 1.6, is $5,925,950. As referenced earlier, the adopted fiscal year 21-22 budget did accommodate for the adoption of a rate of $3.97 per $1,000 evaluation. While this, coupled with the additional revenue from COVID relief and ARPA funds, means that the budget for fiscal year 21-22 will finish at or ahead of projections. This second straight year foregoing the allowed 4% revenue increase could negatively affect the city's fund balance in the future. That said, in the current economic climate, anything we can do to help out our citizens is positive, and as such, the staff recommends the council adopt a tax rate of $3.97 per $1,000 of assessed value. So, would anyone like to address council on the property tax rate? All right, anybody else? All right, we will end the public hearing for...
Mayor, I think it's important to say that we did not increase. It kind of sounds like we may have increased.
We did
not increase.
We did not.
Taxes are
2019, same rate. 2020, same rate. 2021, same rate.
Correct.
But then, if your assessment... What's that?
I said just due to appreciation of property values, we're going to see more revenue.
Correct. Yes, only if they've been reassessed, and since reassessments didn't occur this year, the vast majority of people's tax bills will be exactly the same. However, there is new revenue, new taxes. If somebody bought a house,
right,
and then that bumped up, that will affect the actual income. There's that 1.6% that will affect the bottom line for us. But an individual homeowner, if they did not sell their house or buy a new house, will probably have the exact same tax bill. So, on the city's portion. But the tax bill comes out, it includes the schools, and I'm not sure what the schools did. So it may not be exact, but the city's portion. So don't pay any attention to what I'm saying, it's too confusing. Anyway, enough of that. So no increase in the city portion of the taxes. So that ends the public hearing of that, and we'll call the regular meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Ms. Kelly? Here. Mr. Bender?
Here.
Mr. Goldberg?
Here.
Mr. Beazle?
Here.
Mr. Blau?
What?
Mr. Blau?
Here.
Ms. Burke? Here.
If we can please rise for the pledge to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the minutes of the last meeting were in our packet. I'll entertain a motion. Approved. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thanks. Okay, this part of the meeting is for visitors and communications, and we've got another badge pinning. All right, Chief, take it away.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Warren. As you all know, we're here tonight to appoint Michael to position of Director of Golf Cart Safety.
Very good.
Very good. Yeah, he's already here.
Michael started with us in 2005. He came to us with a bachelor's degree in criminology from the University of Tampa. And when we sent him to the academy, Michael graduated as a recruit of the station, which means he exceeded all the bars and all the different categories. Since that time, Michael has won multiple awards with our department and others. And he's held multiple positions within the PD, to include bike patrol officer, field training officer, range instructor, longtime SWAT team member, and his most recent accomplishment is president of the Kentucky Tactical Officers Association. But of all his characteristics, the ones that I value the most are his memory. Because Michael can still recite for you word to word some of the things that I said to him at FTO 16 years ago. He may have the context a little bit wrong, but he can remember exactly what I said. It is certainly my privilege, and I'm very proud to promote Michael tonight to the rank of sergeant. He will be badge number 4319. Take it awesome.
Congratulations.
Did you turn that mic on too? Or is that one on? There you go.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Council, Mayor. I appreciate the opportunity after almost 16 years here with the department to continue to move forward in an official leadership position. I appreciate everyone and it's been there for me over the years, ups and downs, thick and thin. I'd like to thank my wife and my kids for putting up with this as well, for the missed birthdays, the swap call outs in the middle of the night, the Christmas Eve, where I missed Christmas because of another call. So just being out there and everyone supporting me, I couldn't have done it without them. So thank you.
We bring up your family. Yeah, that one has to come up. Who wants to stab me up?
Who wants to stay around?
You got it.
That's part of it. Sarah, you have to go speech too. All right, congratulations, Sergeant Michael Deeks.
Congratulations and thanks for your service to Fort Thomas. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you all. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else that would like to address council on any topic? If so, please step forward and state your name and address for the record, and we'll go from there. Going once, going twice. Moving right along, we're to the reports of officers, city administrators, of course. Mr. Dill. Caught you off guard there, didn't I?
You
There you go.
Here now. Okay, just wanted to report on a couple of items. We will be meeting with the Planning Commission coming up on September 14th. We're working with CPD consultants with their zoning expertise to update our zoning text. After our adoption of the comprehensive plan, the next logical step is to review your other tools and documents, your subdivision regulations, zoning ordinance. We have not done that recently. It is past due, really, quite honestly. So we're going to formalize that process in our first meeting with the Planning Commission. And just to state that out loud, the way that works is the Planning Commission will review the zoning ordinance. Obviously, it's public meetings. Any council member or any citizen can be involved in that process. We'll meeting schedule, we'll post their meeting schedule once we get a scope of how they want to approach that. It comes in the form of a recommendation to the city council, and then city council will ultimately we adopt the new zoning ordinance. So there's a number of topic areas that came out for the comprehensive plan, and other statutory requirements that would be required to be updated. For example, the sign ordinance is dated Supreme Court rulings, and then some of the issues that we discussed locally will be incorporated into that zoning ordinance. So stay tuned on that. Obviously, engage if you wish, for anybody that wants to be a part of that. A couple of projects to update. The Chesapeake Avenue roadway improvements are being completed. That was the Blue Good Foundation. Did I say it correctly this time? If you all recall, we received a generous grant for that process. The medians are in place. We're doing some surface repair work down there since we closed the road. It's been an interesting exercise having our crews down there with the road closed. So we got to see firsthand some of the issues related to speeding. We have signage up and the road has actually been closed during the day while we're working for diverted traffic, local traffic only. Newport did the center line and edge line is their part of the project. Ours have the medians, and then the edge line is the last piece that will be installed after. And then we'll be doing speed studies to follow up the effects of those improvements that are going on. Update on the city building, we are presently, probably today, at the worst possible moment, if we had to pick a moment in time, for the project to be disruptive to what we do every day in our community and around the building. And the police officers that just left should be commended for putting up with this more than the rest of us because we're not on the premises right now. But they put the rooftop units on today. They started tearing out the back parking lot areas that the grade changes to match the elevation for the public access off of the back building. They're doing paver installation in the front, so literally there's a path that maybe could get you into the chief's office, and that's about all that's accessible out there right now. So, all that being said, we are working toward getting our fire department back in. The timing aspect for them really is the window installation. We're hoping October 1st that their windows will be installed, getting that back in October. Before the weather changes and have their equipment back in the garage space function out of space. But generally they're on schedule, but it's a tough site right now. The pavers will probably be done. They were hoping to have them done this past week. It'll probably be later in the end of this week. And the public walkway will be completed in 1 which is what we've been able to manage school traffic, pedestrians pretty well. But we'd like to get that open again. That's where we're headed. And this group would like to get in the building at some point so you can see the progress. So I'm thinking that maybe before our October meeting might be a good time. The fire department will be close to being back in at that point, and the progress that's measurable. I think the last time you all were officially in there was Gemini time. It looks quite different, but you can start to see and feel the way that the building will act when it's completed. So it'll be a good timing to have that for an opportunity to see the building up close. A couple of other items just to update the playground equipment in Tower Park. Portion was delayed. Our last conversation with them last week, they were expected to take delivery of the equipment last Friday and install it the third week in September. So we may see that equipment get in, at least with some opportunity to be used in decent weather. And that really is a COVID delay type of item. And getting it in then is actually pretty fortunate compared to some of the delays that we've experienced with other types of equipment. The community implementation, just wanted to reference, we have a meeting in this space on September 15th, which is a Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And that is the Recreation Committee of Council to discuss these implementation items, specifically the proposed skate park, bike park, and the splash park in Tower Park and again the private parking areas. Our 2020 street program, we need to get, and hopefully I can touch base with the members on the Public Works Committee. We need to do public inspection of those improvements So I would like to get a date on our calendar sometime in the next month or so, when the weather turns, leaves on those streets. So if we can get that committee together, that's our last moment for the 2020 program. And I would just note that the billing for that cycle will not go out until spring, so it'll follow our normal protocol. With tax season, we always defer those special assessments to the spring before we send those bills out. In the 2021 program, we had a pre-construction meeting with Eaton Asphalt as that project, and they are scheduled to begin paving the week of October 4th. And of course, that project runs from Memorial Parkway in conjunction with the city of Newport. Right now, they have a contract to do the improvements for Newport on their storm sewer inlets. They'll be doing that work. There is some work that's due from SB1 at the top of that street that they have a must perform by the end of September under the contract. So we're expecting them to get in there, we've been pushing them. So that work needs to be done in advance, and hopeful that they have a contractor in for that time, and then the cost probably costs. And they know that. So, Wilbur's Lane, Duke Energy's down there, and I think I reported at the last meeting that they are getting started on the utility work with hopes that that street will have reconstruction started in October as well. So we're going to be busy in October. And then just a couple of other items. The Trails grant that we submitted for the first phase in Town Park, which would be paving the loop area that comes behind the amphitheater, is currently under consideration, and we will have an opportunity to address the deciding body for that this Thursday. So Chris Manning and I will be joining a meeting with an opportunity to give detail on our project and hopefully get this money for that trail. It's a recreational trails grant opportunity. And then the last item I wanted to mention is on Route 8. We did have money that we received in a grant deferred for planning and engineering on Route 8, and that work will begin. We've had pre-construction meetings with our contractor that will be doing the assessment, which is a team of CP Engineering, Human Nature, and Cruise Construction to do evaluation and provide some cost estimating that hopefully allows us to have a conversation with KYTC about how that road can be addressed moving forward. So they have done the preliminary stationing, and we as a group will be down there later this week, physically start to look at all the areas that we're going to understand. So a little bit of progress. And I think that's all I had, unless there were any questions on anything else.
I have two. The playground equipment that we're waiting for, is that just for shelter 3 or is it for here too?
It's shelter 3 and by the ball field.
Okay, and this is going to remain unchanged. I know there's issues with some of the equipment there.
Yes, right now that has not been addressed in the upgrade. So, yeah, these are the replacement for the equipment that was in shelter 3, and then the new equipment that will be paired with the shelter that was constructed, reconstructed, the restroom and the shelter that was under your basketball.
Okay. I've just heard from a lot of people that needs attention over there too. The other question I have is we had downsized our plans for the bollards at Waterworks Road going up to North Fort Thomas from Memorial, and there's still no installation of any, or is that on our radar?
It is. Probably when we're done with Chesapeake, that crew will be online. So we're doing bump outs. I think we showed a visual of that at the intersection of Parkway and Sadie Court. And at the same time we do that, we'll do the bollards at the intersection.
Good.
Will the stuff with SD1 affect that at all, that area
Yeah.
coming through? That
They
will-
came out into Mobile Parkway and they have to bill and pay, but it doesn't go as far as
Okay.
that intersection.
I would like to add one more thing. We talked about this before with the Parks and Rec meeting. It's been a lot about pickleball courts and adding that possibly to that Parks and Rec meeting, just because we've talked about it and there was some plans drawn up to our next Parks and Rec meeting to get the ball started on another area for them.
Yeah, so I think the way we've advertised that meeting is its implementation of the community plan. So any item that's in there, I mean, we're very specific about our presentation being those two
I
project
get it,
areas.
yeah, makes sense, but
But if we want to have a conversation, we can, in that agenda. But I won't say
I think it's gonna be a little tough to squeeze something else in that meeting, but yeah.
But we do have pickleball courts planned for Uniontown Park,
Okay.
that are still in, and likely would be, late fall.
So we are gonna have those ones up there
Yeah.
behind okay, I just didn't know, I hadn't seen anything in a while, I hadn't heard anything, that's all I wanted, that's perfect, that's all I need.
All right, great. We are to reports of officer. No, we're not. We're doing new business. Report from the Law Labor License Committee. You get away, Connie.
Okay, we discussed outdoor dining and the golf cart ordinance. The outdoor dining ordinance, as we run through them in order, but it says on here, it does not matter. Does it matter? Rob, does it matter if we do it in order?
No.
It says on here. Okay. So the outdoor dining ordinance was discussed, and as drafted, I think the committee is prepared to recommend that we pass that outdoor dining ordinance and those changes. The golf cart ordinance, however, we did not get out of committee. Do I need to move to refer that back to committee, or is it already there since it never left?
I think we just need to set a meeting to have further discussion.
Okay.
about the direction of the council.
Okay, great. So I would move to pass the golf cart, no, sorry, the outdoor dining ordinance.
No, it's down under ordinances.
We'll pick it up.
Great. Sorry, there you go.
Thanks for your report.
Uh-huh.
We have Finance Committee report on disbursements. We do not. We have no disbursements. We have no money.
With no money.
I would like to say something about the golf cart ordinance real quick. I do think that it was about changing the age from 19 to 16, and I think with a little more time next year that I could really lean towards it if we just had a little more time. I think Councilman Diesel made some extremely valid points on it, and I just think that
The 16-year-olds next year gonna be moving through.
I think that we have more time under our belt with the current people driving them to make sure they can handle it, because we had about 10 the first year, now we have about 35 this summer. So I think one more summer with nothing from the police officers, I would definitely be more inclined to lean in the direction of lowering the age limit. So that's throwing in
All right. We're down to
Well, the first, just so you know too, the first committee, 2 years ago, when they decided this, they vetted this for a few committee meetings, and they made it 19 for a reason, to make sure that we got out ahead of that. And I think we should follow their wishes and make sure that there's plenty on the road. I don't think there's been just quite enough time to decide that, so that's one of the reasons too.
All right, we're down to ordinances, resolutions, and orders. Ordinance 013-2021, tax rate rule.
Ordinance number 013-2021, an ordinance providing for the imposition, levy, collection, and apportionment of the taxes of the city of Fort Thomas, Kimball County, Kentucky, for the year 2021, and fixing the tax rate.
That's the first reading. Ordinance 014-2021. Nope, sorry, 015-2021. Outdoor dining ordinance. Right.
Ordinance number 015-2021, an ordinance of the city of Fort Thomas, Kimball County, Kentucky, regulating the placement of tables, chairs, and outdoor furnishings for the purpose of outdoor dining on the public sidewalks, and repealing ordinance 002-2007 in its entirety.
All right. There's also a first reading.